Oh, look at this. Look how cute that is. This little one is playing with mom and is licking. Oh, that is just the coolest thing to see. Are we not so spoiled that we have this on our doorstep at the moment? This is literally not even 5 minutes from camp, and this is what we have. And look at the size of those paws already. They are massive. You can see it's now biting Thandi's ear. This is very cute. It's the coolest thing to watch. But like I say, I mean, those paws are huge already. And you think about the size of that cat and the size of Thandi, and you can see just with the sort of paw itself just how big it is on Thandi's head. Now, you can see Thandi's getting a bit kind of sort of concerned because the wind is blowing and there's the roof is touching some of these branches and it's scraping, so that's why she's just looking in our direction, is because there's a bit of noise from the roof itself. But it really is the sweetest thing to watch this little cub play with Thandi, and I look forward to many more days, hopefully, of watching this and seeing how this little one grows up. It is the coolest thing that we've got her around, and that, like I say, she's chosen Juma to have her den, and not just Juma, but right in the heart. Oh, there we go, jumping on her head. Look at that, the instinct is already there. You see that? The instinct to get the paws around and to go for the head, that's all already built in. And now she's busy pulling fur out of the back of her mom's head. There was a bit of chunk of fur that came out there, and also a little grooming that's going on. So she's already learnt what grooming is and how to get rid of certain things. And how cute is that? You normally see mom grooming baby, but other way around with this little one. This little one's got its own attitude altogether, and that's quite a cool sort of look of the two of them. And you can see, even though it's tiny, its ears are almost the same size as Thandi's when they're behind her head like that. You can just see the ear kind of sticking out, not that much smaller, so it takes them a bit of a while to grow into their ears. They always look a bit awkward for the first few months with these massive ears, but she will grow into them. And if it is that same sort of lineage as that what Thandi's produced, all of her offspring have had rather large ears to start with. Wabayiza, Bahuti, Kuchava, Tamba, they've all had the larger than normal ears. Well, maybe not larger than normal, but look at this little one. Are you pushing mom around? How cool. Kathy O'Hire, you're saying, is the cub dark in colour, or is it because it's wet that it's looking darker? Well, it is darker in colour than Thandi because the spots are much closer together, so the contrast between the light and dark is far less. You've got a lot more dark on that small little body than you do on Thandi. And so, oh, look at this. Thandi, you are so relaxed this afternoon, my girl. Well done. And so it appears darker, but it's also probably a little damp. There is a bit of sort of misty kind of rain that's starting to fall now, and so maybe there's a bit of dampness on it. But it's more that the spots are so close together that it appears darker. Poor Thandi's ear is about to be eaten off at this rate. It's being groomed with much vigor and passion by this little one. Look at that. You see the little teeth there? How cool. Shame. This is the cutest little thing in the whole world. And in a way, it's actually, we always want, when we kind of have cubs and things, we always try and ask for kind of the biggest litters possible, because it's always nice to, have more than one that grows up, and in case anything may happen, that there's always a more chance of a surviving cub. But sometimes one cub is precious because the interaction between the mother and that cub tends to be a lot more and a lot stronger. It's amazing, actually, to watch the two of them go about their things and the way that they do bond together. Lilo, you're wondering when leopard cubs start making vocalizations. Well, almost immediately. So this little cub, I've heard it squeaking and squawking and making noise towards mom as well. And so the other day when she was moving it to a different den, and then we found that this little cub was fairly vocal actually at times, and like I say, squeaking and chuffing back at mom. So they are able to make vocalizations, but if in terms of a territorial vocalization, she won't make that until she reaches about 3.5 to 4 years old, and she's got a territory of her own. That's when she'll start making that sound. So a long way to go for this little one before that happens, but it certainly has got the feisty nature to be a queen of Juma at some stage in the future. She certainly seems she's got it all under control and is really trying to kind of take over the world already, and is not worried about a thing. I mean, we're sitting here and she's paying no attention to us, that little cub. It just goes to show how relaxed. I mean, I'm talking and we're not far from the little cub at all, and yet it's still taking it all in its stride. It's looking around, it's playing with mom, and it is completely relaxed with this whole process, which is so cool to see. I was hoping it was going to go down to the carcass to go and play with the carcass, but unfortunately it seems that mom is more of a play station than the carcass will be, although when it gets a little older, we know from experience that cubs will pick up and throw and throttle and move and sort of play around with their food quite a bit if it's small enough to do so. You can see Thandi's getting annoyed with her tail being bitten. She's flicking her tail all over the place, and that's even making it worse because the little cub will certainly start going after that tail if it can. The more it moves, the more of a game it becomes between mom and cub. You just see the movement in the background with the tail and the little cub kind of chasing it around quite a bit. Now, often what happens when they play with the tail like this and they bite it, that triggers these leopards to get up and start moving and to reposition because they get a bit irritated with the cub biting at it, and so this is how it goes. Right, guys, well, it is such a special sighting, and there's a few people that have been around for a while that really want to come and see this little cub and spend some time and have a little look, and we've been so fortunate to be able to see this that I think, you know, it's best that we try and give some others a chance to see this. So while we kind of move out and allow others to have a look at this beautiful little cub, let's go back across to James, and I hope that he's not getting too wet as he starts to move, I'm sure, closer to home.